Yo, what up, Tamers? It's me, and it's time for another patch notes. We're up to patch 1.2, and this one we did something special. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but Digimon World actually had an elemental weakness chart, a typing chart, and you'd probably not know that unless like you're super into the game because nothing tells you about this. It's not in the game. It's not in the manuals. It's hidden unless you like I don't know, experiment with damage yourself and you notice something's up. And that chart doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There doesn't seem to be any like rhyme or reason to anything. And the bonuses you get kind of nutty. Like you get as much as like a 67% bonus damage or like 53% reduction. Really game-changing stuff. And I didn't really care for that. As a concept in a game that has no counterplay for such things. It's not like, I don't know, another monster racing game where you could maybe switch out your monster for another one that has a better typing matchup. Not in this game. So instead of just entirely removing the typing chart, I went with rebalancing it instead. So this is that. Yeah, I think it's just better to have it not be as strong. So instead of being like, I don't know, 33% on something that's like normally weak, just a 10% bonus. 10% bonus if you're just strong against it, 10% reduction if you're weak against it. If you're double strong, it becomes a 20%. Double weak, it becomes 80% reduction or damage or reduction, whatever. So yeah, kind of just mellowed out a little bit. It's going to help a lot of typings that had bad matchups otherwise. Like Battle and Mech and Filth come to mind, especially Mech. Mech had really awful weaknesses. But to help you guys remember some stuff, Fire, you can't punch Fire. There you go. Fire strong against Battle, and Fire torches the Earth. Fire beats Earth. Battle, you could like operate machinery. I don't know. This one's a little bit of a stretch. I was running out of this one. I'm gonna be honest. This is towards the end of the line where I just had to start making things up, and beat the out of someone. You know. So it beats Filth and beats Mech. Air, Fire can't exist without it. And Strikes can't touch it. You can't punch air, dummy. Stupid. Earth, the plants feed off water and it feeds off manure. Earth beats water and Filth. Ice, ice is a little bit weird because ice and water are the same thing in this game and it uses a water droplet, but we're counting it, I guess, as water. Whatever. Water puts out fire, easy enough. Water ruins circuitry. Sure. I don't know if you want to think of it as ice. Have you ever tried to start a fire in the middle of snow? It's not easy. It's really nice. You probably don't want to get snow on your computer either. So there you go. Mechs run on electricity. Mech beats air. Industrialization destroys forestry. Mech beats earth. Filth, that one actually makes a lot of sense. Filth pollutes the air. Filth pollutes the water. It beats air. It beats ice. So there you go. Those are your new typing. Commit to memory. Again, it's not as important as it used to be, but if you want a little bonus here and there, and you want to think, wow, why did that thing take so much extra damage? There you go. But yeah, something's true. Yeah. Talked about that. Don't worry about it. Fire. Okay, so now we're getting to moves. So we nerfed Fire Tower last time, as a big reaction to when it was kind of just dominating the, game a couple patches ago. Maybe went too hard, buffed it back up a little bit, but instead of bringing it to its same levels, a little bit below that. And more importantly, its accuracy's been hit. Previously, you would just kind of get Fire Tower locked, drop the accuracy all the way down to 35. So we're going to be seeing more blocks of Fire Towers going forward. Prominence Beam. I always wanted this to be a big anime laser dumb beam, but it unfortunately had the issue of the Digimon never really getting in range to use it. It would always like kind of backpedal and find problems getting the footing, so I actually reduced the user range. But instead up the power. It's now the second strongest fire move, and up the MP to go with it because 575 power needs a lot of MP to justify that. Red Inferno, that one's always in a weird place because it's not as consistent as Fire Tower, Spitfire, and its damage wasn't as high as Magma Bomb or Prominence Beam. So instead, up the power, it's the strongest fire attack you can use on Rookie. Digimon Setsagamon's strongest at the moment. Magma Bomb, that's still been seeing some use because it's, I don't know. had high power and a chance of confusion. Dropped the power. So now it's weaker than Red Inferno, but still has that 50% chance of confusion to make it something desirable. Heat Laser, that's been the big setup move for fire. I reduced the numbers, just it's good that it's doing what it does. I like that it has that roll. It's just a little bit too consistent. Have to bring it down. So flat 90 to 60 in accuracy, brought down to 60 also. That's not percentages, by the way. That's a typo. It's just 80 and 60. Meltdown. We saw Meltdown dominate when Ice Statue and Thunder Justice and stuff were banned before we were able to edit moves. I only at the time I think dropped the stun by like from 20 to 5. I kept everything else the same, but it hasn't seen use since. So I upped the power again to 450 and gave it a little bit more extra stun. So maybe we'll see more use on it. To air, Electrocloud, similar deal as Heat Laser. Just, I like the fact that it, I don't know, was leading to big combos. It just needed to be more costly and hit the consistency. So 85% stun to 60%, a little bit of an MP cost increase. Static Elect, that's a big one. So when I first tackled Static Elect right back at 1.1 when we started editing moves, I didn't know what to do with it because melee wasn't being used at all at the time. I'm like, I don't know, just make it like a nuzzle on Pokemon where it like hits and it guarantees stun. Maybe I'll have like a cool timing or something. Not a good idea. Static Elect needs something to set up for it to actually be consistent. It needs an Electric Cloud to work. Something like that. So instead it's now a power move. It's a power melee attack. 411 power. High MP cost obviously. Drop the stun chance all the way down to 25% and up the accuracy. It's still a very slow move and like I said, it needs setup, but it has something more going on now. Wind Cutter. Oh, this is... Oh no. Dang, I swear I updated that. Oh well. Wind Cutter is now 60... 46% accuracy? I could check it up here. 43 accuracy, not percent. There's been oppressive quick build, spam projectile build still in the meta. So like things like Spitfire, Wind Cutter, Ice Needle, just hit the accuracy on those to try to get more blocks up to stop those from being as oppressive. Confused Storm. Confused Storm, well, here's the thing. I don't want any more 100% chance moves anymore. Those are gone. 80% still a lot. It is still called Confused Storm. It should confuse more often than not. Just up the power a little bit, make it a little bit sexier of a pick, a little bit more effective. It just doesn't seem to be particularly strong, and Confusion's not exactly the strongest status effect. It's kind of the weakest one. Hurricane, this is just a note. Hurricane's been super strong since we buffed it, especially when it's been woven together with Electric Cloud in a combo. We're going to look into Hurricane in the future, but because it's so vulnerable if the combo doesn't get set up and doesn't have like a really perfect matchup, we're just going to count the Electric Cloud nerf as Hurricane's nerf this time around. If it continues to be a problem, we'll decrease its numbers in the future. Giga Freeze is just a balance issue, or almost, I don't know, not a balance issue, but it was trying to figure out the exact use range for it. It always just kind of a little bit too far away, so just inching it closer and closer to make sure it doesn't whiff. Ice Statue finally saw play again, and we were reminded how strong Ice Statue is. But numbers seem fine, we just need to decrease how oppressive it is, so lower range, lower accuracy. Winter Blast, that's been an interesting move forever. Winter Blast has the issue of not doing anything particularly well and leaving itself vulnerable after use. It does fire off fast, but so just up the power. Give it something for the time being. It also has a stun chance still, so we'll see if Winter Blast sees some plays in a rookie tier or maybe higher, I don't know. Ice Needle we talked about with Wind Cutter. Aurora Freeze. So way back when, I was like, you know what, Aurora Freeze, why does that give flat? That should stun. It's Cold Freeze, it should stun. And I gave it a really high stun chance at 74%. That was a mistake. We didn't know how good Aurora Freeze could be, especially when comboed with Teardrop. Aurora Freeze's timing is perfect. When I say that, I mean it could stun into itself, it could stun lock, and it stuns after Teardrop's flat takes effect, so it could connect after flat, and it could connect as flat pops back in, so you could like be stunned, flatten, and then stunned, and then flatten again. Stun dropped down to 74%, from 74 to 40, up the MP cost. Very necessary. We just talked about Teardrop, lower the consistency from 64 to 60. It actually had a way too low accuracy, so that's being weirdly buffed. But yeah, the MP cost needed to go up. And with those two MP costs together, it's a bigger nerf for Aurora Freeze. It's going to be a lot more expensive. What is that, like? I don't know, 40, about 80 points more expensive. So that brings us to Mech. That's obviously should be green. But yeah, Power Crane is in a good place. It's just kind of getting blocked a lot, so buff that. DG Dimension. So DG Dimension's been getting a pretty effective play. It's 999 power. I hope it hurts. Thing is, because now that Mech isn't going to be resisted by literally everything in the game by a lot, even the things that used to resist it won't resist it as much. Have to drop the power preemptively. Accuracy also dropped that to 80. It's been more effective than we kind of thought it would be. Reverse prog, similar deal. Also 100% flat to 80. Like I said, no more guaranteed flats. Also, occasionally the timing with reverse prog chains into itself. We'll have to look into that in the future. But for the rest of Mech, we're just kind of leaving it alone right now. The numbers are probably going to be pretty... They're already high, but they weren't getting a lot of play. But now that Mech in general has been buffed, hopefully they get more use. Earth. So this is a whole thing. Max Defense Palma build has been the bane to balancing in general. Like, I try to focus on Rookie first because it's the most temperamental tier of the game. Because, like, such low stats that any build that goes extreme one way will dominate in such a ways. But Palma and like max defense, just you see it get hit by like attacks with like one damage, and it just like does nothing except for wait for poison, and the only way it ever seems to lose is if the enemy's finisher is strong enough. So I'm kind of just hitting poison all over and repurposing a lot of earth moves. Poison powder, for example, is going to be the most effective move to poison for earth types going forward. Up the MP cost for it. Decrease the poison from 62% to 40%. Just a little bit of an accuracy drop too. Bug. This is kind of in line with Ice Stature and stuff. It's still seeing a lot of play and it's still strong. Just lowering the accuracy to 55, which seems like a lot, but again, Bug is still Bug and has a chance of hitting twice. Insect Plague. This is a big one. So I just told you Poison Powder is now the most effective poison move. Well, that used to be Insect Plague's thing. It used to be the 90% poison. I think it's better to start focusing Insect Plague towards something else. Earth always has an issue of not having a really reliable attack other than like Bug. So instead of having another status ailment move, we turn Insect Plague into a ranged attack for Earth. That's consistent, actually, unlike Green Trap. So 58 power to 392. MP cost up from 96 to 315. That's appropriate considering how big the power is. Lower the accuracy, make it more blocked, and drop the poison from 90% to 5%. But the Digimon this affects most, off the top of my head, are Sealamon, Monochromon, and Ogremon. I think those are the three that get it in Champion. There might be another, but as far as I recall, that's them. Poison Claw. So Poison Claw has been another issue. That's been Palmon's real go-to attack. Drop the poison, first of all, from 50% to 10%, which still might be too high, but we'll see how that goes. Up the MP cost, lower the accuracy, all sorts of things to just kind of make it more costly to use and less effective. But up the power. So maybe it's not going to be doing the same kind of like poison build effectiveness, but at least like when it strikes often, it's gonna hurt. I think that's cool. Danger Sting. We saw one thing use Danger Sting and it was kind of cool. That's when it was also much higher flat percentage. I think it should still have a really high flat percentage. It's not a very consistent move. It usually is really slow. But up the power, up the MP cost to go along with it. Just make it more tempting of a choice. So maybe like Kunamon, Electro Cloud Danger Sting combo. Maybe that could be something we could see going forward, for example. Green Trap. Green Trap, as mentioned before, is a pain in the butt. It's supposed to be the other, like, attack move for Earth types, other than Bug, but it has that weird issue, which we still haven't been able to work around, where it's... hitbox, it could just be walked through. Just trying to bring in the range. 900, the AI never wanted to actually get to Green Trap, so dropping it to 800 to encourage the AI to use it more when it has it. Battle Tremor. Okay, so Tremor hopefully gets stronger now that battle types in general are buffed because of the new typing chart. I'm afraid to touch the numbers because they're already pretty high, and it's a pretty good move. We do see a lot. I just don't know if it's been strong enough compared to other things. We'll keep an eye on that one. Sonic Jab. So we've had Sonic Jab at 0 MP, and that's been terrifying to me because I have no idea when anyone was eventually going to be like, wait, that's 0 MP. Why don't I just build max defense and like max attack and call it a day? I don't need any MP. Thankfully, no one ever did that. So instead, we're upping the power, giving it a low MP cost, and giving it full accuracy, or just about. I don't know if that's blockable. But yeah, 255, so it can't be countered, it can't be blocked. If you have Sonic Jab and you get in, it's gonna hit. You can't block sound, dummy. Unless you have headphones or something. Dynamite Kick, that's all I'll play. That was pretty dominant. Up the MP cost, maybe a bit too low. We'll see how that goes going forward. Lower the power for Horse, that was really strong, and especially now that battle is going to be more effective in general. Lower the accuracy of it too. Let it be blocked more often. Keep an eye on Dynamite Kick. It's been pretty strong. Counter. So I said a while ago that we're going to look at counter in regards to like the fact that I used a slot filler. I'm buffing it today. Don't worry about it. So power increased from 285 to 390. Now we're seeing melee more often. It's more fun to watch the counter really go off when it goes off. So just the power up there. Megaton Punch nerf. That was really strong. It dominated a good chunk of 1.1.1. So 640 down to 415, 99 to 132 MP. Filth. Okay, so disclaimer here, I don't have an explanation for a lot of these. I just kind of did it based off vibes. When I experimented with these moves a while ago, it was hard to tell the big difference between each other because a lot of them just kind of share animations. So here you go. Odor Spray, strong and flats, up the accuracy. Poop Speed Toss. Okay, I do have an explanation for that. It's the most consistent attack for Filth. It's like a fireball, just up the chance of poison. Give it a better chance against tanks because it's a low power move otherwise. Big Poop Toss, high stun, good power, up the accuracy and range. Big Round Toss, up the power, confuse, range, accuracy. Poop Random Toss, 420, or up the power, poison chance, range, accuracy. Random Speed Toss, power, flattens, range, accuracy. Horizontal Kick, power, up the MP, increased accuracy. Ultimate Poop Hell, this one is again because of the effectiveness of its flat lock, just lower the accuracy, so maybe there won't be blocked, or it won't go through as often, it'll be blocked. But yeah, guys, other than that, there is now the our War Game skin for the Extra Coliseum stage that you guys saw in a previous video. The explanation for how to get that going is down here. But yeah, what do you think? What kind of builds are you excited to see? Tell me in the comments. I'll see you guys in the arena.